I am aware that you are aware of my extreme bullishness. Yes, gentlemen, I am incredibly bullish. Yet in today's video, the story gets more complicated. So why won't anyone else discuss what I'm going to say in today's video, guys? I intend to reveal and divulge what takes place after that. Guys, this is just my viewpoint. It is not proceeding. Since there is never a certainty, it's not, however, this is my timeline for the next few events, which are approaching quickly, okay? And it appears in the video of today. Check this out, guys, as our chronology has been confirmed. There are a lot of things to get ready for, but this is completely going under the radar because retail investors are gradually becoming more bullish while gradually becoming more bearish. I have to start this video by stating that I am extremely bullish right now. Check the sell till I observe new highs for all cryptocurrencies. The headless economist at Citigroup claims that everything from radar hits new in the economy of the United States to a hard landing recession. The only people with these kinds of degrees, are PhD holders. Thus, from what I gather, they are looking ahead and are essentially the senior US economists at Citigroup. All right. The puppets in the system are saying that this year, folks, he wants interest rates to be lowered. That's what we're talking about. If a black swan happens to cross into view, it will cut repeatedly and dramatically. All right, the interest rate, because something clearly went wrong. A recession has already begun. Of course, guys, they just pick which reports to publish, but the next recession in black swan will occur as a result of an outside incident, right? And they're suggesting that this year will be the one, as we discussed. We don't know why the Federal Reserve will postpone rate reduction, which will cause an economic collapse. The head of State Street Equity Research said, guys. Thus, in addition to that group, other groups are also now saying that the Federal Reserve will engineer a financial catastrophe by postponing rate decreases. That is the reason for their delay, not to mention what happens when they maintain a constant tempo. Correct the market's pressure. Do you not notice that we have successfully cracked the code, guys? What we've discussed here is that rates will remain unchanged next month and that the FOMC will have its next crucial meeting in roughly 17 days. The month following the rate holding September could be the month of the initial rate reduction. Happens as planned, if not sooner. To be honest, there might be an August surprise rate cut or an emergency one because something broke. That must be some kind of black swan because, as you can see, they just keep holding and not cutting properly. Hold on just a moment. I'm not bearish until I see this happening for Bitcoin, okay? Until then, until I see XRP doing the same exact thing, and until I see Ethereum doing the same exact thing, guys, which means a pump, guys. So my theory is that they're going to pump the markets, which will prevent black people from entering and cause us to rise. I've been thinking about this for a while. I'm not simply making things up, guys. I'm not coming up with new theories out of thin air. I'm keeping to my core hypothesis and base outcome until anything changes. Check this out so we can make this next move a higher one. Look at this. Don't forget this begins this week. Perhaps this confirms our suspicions. For a very long time, the printer will produce $2 billion every week. Wow, we're ready to literally pump the markets, but why? May 29th, people. I'm assuming they want to pump it first because it appears like they sense a black swan is about to enter the picture. When it does, though, everyone will be selling and making money, which is my strategy. Then we'll enter again at the bottom of the black swan, though everyone will be selling at that point where it will be a catastrophe. Check this out. In a secure first Treasury buyback program announced by the Treasury since 2002, whoa. That's really important, guys. The naysayers' Treasury is correct. Introducing its initial buyback initiative since 2002. The program, which is slated to begin on May 29th, 2024, aims to increase liquidity in the Treasury market and is anticipated to last until July 24th. All right, so these next few months correspond with the rate reduction. Strangely, the Treasury intends to hold weekly liquidity support buybacks at this time, with up to $2 billion allotted for operations and $500 million for tips. I think they're only acting in this way due to concerns about liquidity and other related issues. This is currently a bank bailout. Okay, that's really interesting, guys. Look at that, okay, until, as I believe that states July. What is that? It's interesting that someone pointed out that this is careless if you go down here. The Fed is actively attempting to remove liquidity as part of QT. The Treasury is working against this by introducing or inducing QE, or printing quantitative easing gas through buybacks. Quantitative tightening men are trying to control inflation. Do you not realize that the markets are set to spike sharply before this black person appears on the horizon? If so, why not? Another frightening omnibus, guys. Take note, jumping ship before the largest crash since 1929 is a serious risk. You people really can't meet the biggest banker in the world. All right, Justin Jamie Dimon senses that he is getting ready to step down as JP Morgan's CEO. Yeah, you're blind. Watch out for the rats as they attempt to jump and run away from the ship. I'm here to inform you that these guys will take advantage of you and whatever is going on in the economy. They will use their lack of concern. Okay, guys, there are no morals in this place, especially when it comes to money. So pay close attention. This isn't humorous. She liked the videos that I was releasing, so she was happy. Guys, I'm disclosing everything, including today's video. This is simply my opinion, not a hilarious device once more. Thus, this person is most likely departing since he knows he crashed eminence correctly, some sort of black swan. To be exact, and the second reason is most likely because they're going to kill because the old guard needs to go so someone new can take on the new job. Several birds on one stone? Huh? It's intriguing that he's attempting to sell the JPM shares, people. It's also intriguing that, well, if this is occurring, you know that something big is about to happen, so let's not act naive at this point. I mean, this individual right here is about to enter a new era. How absurd is that? He wants to resign from his position as CEO of JP Morgan. You should look into this. Earlier this year, you guys remember he sold off shares worth $150 million. What does that indicate to you? It clearly indicates that the fourth biggest bank in America is announcing a significant economic downturn. Who's been saying this lately? Are they referring to a crash or a collapse? They claim that a crash rather than a collapse indicates a black swan. Arriving men on schedule. I want to see this blow off top happen first, over $100,000 in Bitcoin. We enter the blocks one collapse, right? Not collapse, but catastrophe, and we go higher until 2026 sell here. Not 90,000, 200,000. Who knows, guys, how large, how far it may go. Purchase here or close to the bottom right. Guys, are you ready for a falling knife moment? I really am attempting. I'm going to actually try to capture it. What happens to the black swan occurrence if I'm still awake at that point? Black swans appear out of nowhere and at random. All right. Even so, in light of the current geopolitical change brought about by the BRICS Economic Alliance, America's fourth largest bank has issued a warning about an approaching economic collapse, specifically citing Citigroup's leading economists at ACC. And they're arguing that the economy is vulnerable right now, which is understandable, don't they? The economy is based only on the creation of money, as Gregory Mannarino put it. If you stop with the printing of even a single dollar bill, it's literally game over. Thus, they actually have to keep producing. Never is it QT. The QE Citigroup constantly warns of a possible economic collapse, yes, but they also discuss the US currency and other things. In my opinion, the value of the Australian dollar will rise, and during times like these, hiring rates are dropping at companies. Employees at companies are putting in fewer hours, right? Thus, the process of gradually softening has already begun. This usually snowballs and culminates in what appears to be a harsh landing. I'm not lying to you. This isn't a humorous decision, but I think we could actually crack the code, and if we call it in, the SEC won't pursue me because I'm not an insider. Here, connecting the dots is all that's being attempted. This figure, which compares the yield curves of an AC over a 10-year period to a 3-month period, really says it all, right? The 3 months divide us. And basically, it's every time we've observed these extended times when one of us is below the zero threshold. What has been true for extended periods of time, a recession within a recession, within a recession, within a recession, within a recession, within a recession. And at what time exactly is this happening now? 600 days, almost exactly 500 days. This 500 days, 500 days, 700 days, 700 days. Those were market crashes or collapses during catastrophic recessions. If it doesn't indicate that, I'm not sure what else to look for. This graphic really does say it all, doesn't it? According to Piper, the Sandler rule has accurately predicted or corrected every recession since the 1940s. Currently, there is a recession signal indicating that the labor market is contracting, which is causing the real economy to weaken. Declining as a result of large interest payments, precisely correctly maintaining a constant rate of sharp cut is about to occur. I'm prepared, gentlemen. I'm really thrilled about this next step up because I'm selling everything but XRP. Whether or not XRP hits a crazy new high, I'll probably keep on to it, but otherwise I'm selling the rest of my coins. I treat guys fairly. The total amount of coins I own, I don't even own that many now, but consumers are having difficulty. The economy is about to enter a recession, and it will be bad with a crisis involving banking and pension funds, among other things. No, neither liquidity nor the Fed can save us. This relates to the actual economy. But right now, the initial blast off top, it is essentially the 3-month moving average of this MA, guys. Something that increases above its level from a year ago, or a smooth moving average. This indicates a recession signal every time it happens, people. And it also happened here where it has increased over the past 12 months. Every time a recession arises, it goes back to where it was 12 months ago. The next, guys, it is evident that something is definitely approaching, as you can see just looking at that every time. Not that it's the charts, mind you. I'm just attempting to connect all the dots with these economists, not humorous device. Yes, you need to develop your own hypothesis or adhere to someone's theory, but ultimately you guys need to draw your own conclusions, right? Everything revolves around you. Why not click this link to make the connections, guys? With a record $157 billion in cash on hand, Berkshire Hathaway is currently experiencing the largest level of collapse. Since 1991, the company's cash level has been, why do you guys know why now? I find it fascinating that there will be a story. They are heading to a business that has this black swan, and this appears to be stock right now. The top 10 corporations' share of the SP 500 index has hit a record 35%, indicating that concentration has risen somewhat. Since it has occurred more than 50 years ago, this is the greatest proportion ever recorded. Crash. I'm quite sure there were crashes if my memory serves me correctly. It also now surpasses the 2000.com bubble, which peaked at 8%. Men, look that right. And at the moment, one of the most popular is the video. And that's when the video comes in because, according to this breaking source, China is going to attack Taiwan in early June. However, I don't think that will happen so soon instead. I think it will happen in the middle of summer, just around the time the CC is finishing up its case against Ripple. Then they immediately reduced rates, meaning that we only have around 2 or 3 months remaining. The stock market and cryptocurrency markets should have surged to the upside by that point. The intriguing thing about these people is that, as you can see, TSMC produces the majority of NVIDIA's high-end processors in its facilities in Taiwan. Taiwan, you say? Yes, interesting things are happening with NVIDIA. It appears that, as we correctly predicted, the black swan will most likely appear at a height that I am not aware of, and then we will rise higher. After that, when the dust settles, they will undoubtedly be preparing something. This isn't a financial advice. I promise I'll just be ready. However, it appears that we have cracked the code. I'm not sure what will happen next, but I'm going to stick to my theory until something changes. All right, let's move on. Thank you, guys. I'm really excited about this because if it makes it into the next version, this will make us extremely wealthy. Things appear to need to blow up before a black swan appears. I'm ready, so we go, and after the black swan men, we go even higher. Things seem to be going really well right now, but the reasons were very clear. See you later.